He kept it inside for years. But when Donna Douglas passed away, Max Baer Jr. finally said the words everyone had been waiting to hear. And what he said next will stay with you long after this video ends. Stick around, because the story behind these two co-stars is much deeper than most people know. For years, television audiences watched Max Baer Jr. and Donna Douglas share the screen as Jethro and Ellie Mae on one of the most loved shows in television history. On camera, they played family. Off camera, their bond turned out to be something real, something that lasted for decades, long after the cameras stopped rolling. When Donna Douglas passed away, Max Baer Jr. told a reporter simply, "I loved her." Those 3 words carried a lot of weight, especially coming from a man who was known for being blunt and guarded about his feelings. He wasn't someone who handed out compliments easily, which made this moment even more powerful. He didn't stop there. Max explained that even years after the show ended, Donna never changed. Every time he saw her at public events or autograph signings, she showed up dressed just like the character fans fell in love with, soft colors and her signature pigtails. He said that in his eyes, she stayed true to that role until her very last day. What really surprised people was learning that their friendship never faded once the show ended. They weren't the type to send texts or messages back and forth all the time, but they stayed close in their own way. They would call each other whenever there was real news to share, a habit that lasted for years after cameras stopped rolling on their famous show. The last time Max saw her in person was at an autograph signing a couple of years before she passed. He had no idea she was dealing with a serious illness. She kept her health struggles private, choosing not to tell many people, even those close to her. Max later learned that in her final days, she had a message she wanted passed along to him. She wanted him to know that she believed she was going to get better. That message hit him hard, and it's easy to understand why. By the time she passed, Max realized something that made him feel the full weight of time passing. Nearly everyone from the original cast was gone. The actors, the producers, the people who built that show into something unforgettable had all passed on before her. He was the only one left. Imagine carrying that kind of loneliness, being the last person standing from a group of people you spent years laughing with, arguing with, and growing close to like family. Even with all that sadness, Max still looked back at their time together with warmth. He remembered the show fondly, describing how funny and full of life those years were. For him, revisiting those memories wasn't just about missing the past. It was about honoring the people who made that chapter of his life so meaningful, especially Donna. What makes this story so touching is how real it feels. These weren't just actors reciting lines for a camera. They built a genuine connection that lasted a lifetime, one that outlived the show itself and stayed strong through decades of change. It reminds us that some friendships, even ones that start on a television set, can become something far more meaningful than anyone expected. Their story is proof that the bonds formed while working closely with someone, laughing together, supporting one another, and sharing quiet moments away from the spotlight, can turn into lifelong connections. Fame fades, shows end, and audiences move on to new favorites, but real friendship often stays quietly in the background, showing itself fully only when it matters most. Max Baer Jr.'s words about Donna Douglas weren't just a tribute. They were a window into a friendship built on loyalty, respect, and years of shared history. It's the kind of story that reminds us how powerful human connection can be, even in an industry often seen as surface level and temporary. If this story touched you the way it touched us, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to share it with someone who grew up watching this classic show. And if you're new here, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next story just like this one. Thank you for watching all the way through. We'll see you in the next video.